Dasa Vrindavanam Bande Krishna Dasa Prabhum Tata Chanavatar Chaitanya Lila Vistar Karino Do Nityananda Prabja Karunarena Bhushito Vyakta Chano Burachincho Vavande Vyasarupino Shri Guru Gaur Gandharva Govindascha Ganaisaha Jayanti Patakaschatcha Sarvesham Gurunartino. So we are continuing with Ch.Ch. Charitamrita this morning, and close this. Yesterday, last night, we were able to hear from our Gurudev in affectionate guidance, which was very wonderful. And now we are hearing from Srila Kaviraj Goswami. So Mahaprabhu is making his attempt to go to Vrindavan, and he's just reached the border. He's going to Vrindavan, but he's going via Bengal, which is over here. And he's just reached the border of Orissa, the area which is bordering the border between Orissa and Bengal. And as we mentioned yesterday, Orissa was one of the few parts of India which was independent at that time, because most of India was under the Muslim rule. So now he's coming to Bengal, which is like a stronghold of the Muslim rulership. And as we know, there weren't always friendly relations between the two. So there's some concern. Mahaprabhu's reached the Bengal border. There's some concern that the Muslim ruler of that area will not be favorable, that he may cause some trouble for Mahaprabhu. So the devotees or the persons who are attending to Mahaprabhu, there's some government officer there attending to him. They're a little concerned. Okay, I'll backtrack a few verses. Jai Shri Gurudev. So Mahaprabhu had to bid farewell to Ramananda Rai. Ramananda Rai, he lost consciousness in his farewell to Mahaprabhu. Mahaprabhu took him on his lap. Very, very deep heart exchange. Tobe odra deshima Prabhu choli haila tataraja adhikari Prabhure milila. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu finally arrived at the border of the state of Orissa, a government officer came there to meet him. Nindui chariteho korilo sevan, age choli badese kohevi varan. For 2 or 4 days the government officer served the Lord. He also gave the Lord detailed information of what was ahead. Madhya javan raja age adhikar tar boye pateke ho nare cholibar. He informs the Lord that the territory ahead was ruled by a Muslim governor who was a drunkard. Out of fear of this king, no one could walk the road freely. Pichalada parjanta sabtar adhikar tar boye nadike ho hoite nare par. The jurisdiction of the Muslim government extended up to Pichalada. Due to fear of the Muslims, no one would cross the river. Dingotoroho sandi kori tar sane tobe suke nokate koraibo gamane. Maharaj Prataparudra's government officer further informed Mahaprabhu that he should stay at the Orissa border for some days, so that a peaceful agreement could be negotiated with the Muslim governor. In that way, the Lord would be able to cross the river peacefully in a boat. Se kale se javane ekano char, udiya katake ailo korive shantar. At that time, a follower of the Muslim governor arrived at the Orissa encampment, dressed in disguise. Prabhu se adabut charitra dekiya, Hindu chara kohe se javan pashagiya, Ek sannyasi aila Jagannatha hoite, Onek siddha purush hoy tahar sahite. The Muslim spy saw the wonderful characteristics of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And when he returned to the Muslim governor, he told him, a mendicant has come from Jagannath Puri with many liberated persons. Nirantar kore sobe Krishna Sankirtan, sobe hase nache gai koroye krandan. All these saintly people incessantly chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, and they all laugh, dance, chant, and cry. Laka laka lokai se tahade ki bade, tade deki punarapi jaite nare gore. Many millions upon millions of people come to see him, and after they see him, they cannot return home. Se sab lokoe bolera prai, Krishna kohi nache kande garagani jai. All these people become like madmen. They simply chant the holy name of Krishna and dance. Sometimes they even cry and roll on the ground. Kohibar katana he dekile se jani, tahar prabhave tare ishwar kodi mani. Actually, these things cannot even be described. One can understand them only by seeing. Considering his influence, I accept him as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is the Muslim spy. Eta koi se chada Hari Krishna gai, hase kande nache gai, bolera prai. After saying this, the messenger began to chant the holy names. Mahaprabhu's influence, such is Mahaprabhu's influence. After saying this, the messenger began to chant the holy names of Hari and Krishna. He also began to laugh and cry, dance and sing, exactly like a madman.
Like the fisherman.
Right, the fisherman, yeah. Etta shuni javaner manafiri gelo, apan vishva shudiya stane patailo. When the Muslim governor heard this, his mind changed. He then sent his secretary to the representative of the Arisan government. Vishwasya Prabhur charan vandilo, Krishna Krishna kohi preme vivala hoilo. The Muslim secretary came to see Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. When he offered his respects to the Lord's lotus feet and uttered the holy name of the Lord, Krishna, Krishna, he also was overwhelmed with ecstatic love. Darja hoye udiyake kohe namaskari, tomastane patailam lecha dikadi. After calming down, the Muslim secretary offered his respects and informed the representative of the Arisan government. The Muslim governor has sent me here. Tumi jadi agya deho etake asiya, javanadi karijai prabhu ke miliya. If you agree, the Muslim governor will come here to meet Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and then return. Bahutut kantatar kayache vinoy, tomasane sandi nahi judaboy. The Muslim governor is very eager, and he has submitted this petition with great respect. It is a proposal for peace. You need not fear that we will fight. Shuni Mahapatra kohe hoya vishmoy, Madhya javaner Ch.Ch ke koroi. Upon hearing this proposal, the representative of the Arisan government, the Mahapatra, was very much astonished. He thought, the Muslim governor is a drunkard. Who has changed his mind? Apane Mahaprabhutar mana firailo. Because from what we've heard, it sounds like this representative of King Prataparuja was thinking, I'm going to need to approach them and make some negotiation. But it's just happened spontaneously. the king sent his spy, the governor sent his spy, and he came back with this report, and so the governor's mind has been positively influenced in favor of Mahaprabhu. So now this agent of Prataparucha, he's very surprised, like, what's happened? What's going on? It must be Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself who has changed the Muslim's mind. Due to his presence and even due to his remembrance, the whole world is liberated. Etaboli vishwasere kohilo vachan bhagyatar asi kadu prabhudarshan. After thinking this, the Mahapatra immediately informed the Muslim secretary, "It is a great fortune for your governor. Let him come visit Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu." Pratita koriye jadi nirashtra hoya asibeka panchasata vitya sangeloya. However, let me make it understood that he should come here without weapons. He may bring with him 5 or 7 servants. Vishwas jaya tahade sakal kohilo, Hindu vesha dori se javanailo. The secretary returned to the Muslim governor and informed him of this news. Dressing himself like a Hindu, the Muslim governor then came to see Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Such a mood of respect has come over him. Dor hoite Prabhu deki bhumete podiya, dandavata kore ashu pulakita hoya. Upon seeing Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu from a distant place, the Muslim governor fell to the ground and offered obeisances. Tears came to his eyes, and he was jubilant with ecstatic emotions. Mahapatra nilotade koriya saman, jodahate prabhu age loe krishnanam. Arriving in that way, the Muslim governor was respectfully brought before Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu by the Mahapatra. The governor then stood before the Lord with folded hands, and he chanted the holy name of Krishna. My goodness. Adam Javan Kule, Keno Janma Hoilo, Vidimode Hindu Kule, Keno na Janmailo. The governor then submissively asked, "Why was I born in a Muslim family? This is considered a low birth. Why didn't Supreme Providence grant me a birth in a Hindu family?" Hindu hoile paitam, tomar charana sanidhan, vyartamore deho joka paran. If I had taken birth in a Hindu family, it would have been easy for me to remain near your lotus feet. Since my body is now useless, let me die immediately. Etta shuni mahapatra vishta hoya prabhu ke koren stuti charane doriya. Upon hearing the governor's submissive statement, the Mahapatra was over. Mahapatra is the agent of Prataparucha on the Arisan side. Upon hearing the governor's submissive statement, the Mahapatra was overwhelmed with joy. He clasped the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and began to offer the following prayers. Chandal pavitra jar shinam shavane heno tomare jiva pailo dadarshane. Simply by hearing your holy name, a Chandal, the lowest of men, can be purified. Now this conditioned soul has received your personal interview. Ihar jay gati ite ki vishmoy tomar darsham prabhave mata hoy. It is no wonder that this Muslim governor has attained such results. Simply by seeing you, all this is possible. Now, quotation from Bhagavatam. Yanama deya shavananu kirtanad yat pravanad yat smaranad api kvachit swadopi sadhya savanaya kalpate kuta punaste bhagavan nudarshanat. To say nothing of the spiritual advancement of persons who see the Supreme Person face to face. Even a person born in a family of dog eaters becomes immediately eligible to perform Vedic sacrifices if he once utters the holy name of the Supreme Lord or chants about him, hears about his pastimes, offers him obeisances, or even remembers him. Tobe Mahaprabhu tade kripa drishti kori ashvasiya kohe tumi koho Krishna Hari. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then glanced with mercy at the Muslim governor. Giving him assurance, he asked him to chant the holy names Krishna and Hari. Se kohe more jadi koilangikar ekagya deho seva korije tomar. The Muslim governor then said, "Since you have so kindly accepted me, please give me some order so that I can render you some service." Go Brahmana Vaishnave himsa karyachiya par se papa hoite mor hok nishtar. The Muslim governor then prayed for liberation from the unlimited sinful reactions he had previously incurred by being envious of Brahmins and Vaishnavas and killing cows. Tobe Mukunda Datta Kohe Shuno Mahashoy Ganga Tira Jaite Mahaprabhur Mana Hoy. Mukunda Dutt then told the Muslim governor, "My dear sir, please hear. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wishes to go to the bank of the Ganges. Taha jaite koro tumi sahai prakar, e boro agya e boro upakar." Please give him all assistance so that he can go there. This is your first great order, and if you can comply, you will render a great service. So, in other words, he wants to go to Bengal, which is your territory. Please don't make any trouble for him. Allow him to pass peacefully. Tobe se Mahaprabhur charana vandiya sabha charan vandi chole hishta hoya. After this, the Muslim governor offered prayers to the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, as well as to the lotus feet of all his devotees. After that, the governor departed. Indeed, he was very pleased. Mahapatra tarsane koilo kola kuli onek samagri dia korilo mitali. Before the governor left, the Mahapatra embraced him and offered him many gifts. He thus established a friendship with him. Pratakale se bahu noka sajaya Prabhu ke anite dilo vishwaspataya. The next morning, the governor sent his secretary with many nicely decorated boats to bring Mahaprabhu to the other side of the river. So not only is he not disturbing Mahaprabhu, he's receiving him with all honor. Mahapatra choli aila Mahaprabhur sane mlecha si koilo Prabhur charana vandane. The Mahapatra crossed the river with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and when they reached the other shore, the Muslim governor personally received the Lord and worshipped his lotus feet. Ekanavi no katar majje gur swagane chadaila Prabhu tahar upar. One of the boats had been newly constructed, and it had a room in the middle. It was on this boat that they put Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his associates. Reminds me of the water pastimes in Navadvip with Mahaprabhu. You saw in Navadvip, we have that temple in the center, right? And Gurudev, that temple, it's part of the purpose of it was a place where Mahaprabhu can come and perform his water pastime. So it's called the Temple of Sriman Mahaprabhu's Divine Water Play. I think it's the name.
In Govindakund.
Yes, in Govindakund. And so once a year on what's it called? We just had it recently. Akshaya Tritiya. It was a few weeks ago. The beginning of the hot time of the year, then one of the Mahaprabhu deities would come. The deity next to Srila Sridhar Maharaj, she would come in a procession and be brought into the boat and circumambulate the temple, and then go and have some pastimes in the temple with Giriraj.
Are there any other? Is it very uncommon to have a temple in the middle of Kund?
I think it's relatively, uncommon, yeah. I mean, it's not very easy to do, for one thing. There's a whole history behind that, because you have to have to be able to build a foundation that will stand, like in the water. That's very difficult. And Gurudev, Acharya Maharaj was doing it under Gurudev's guidance, and they weren't able to build a proper foundation. I don't remember the exact issue. And then finally Gurudev said that he'd had the inspiration, he had to worship Kurmadev. So, because Kurmadev, he's holding that what mountain, the Mandara mountain, he's holding some mountain, right? Kurma's the turtle avatar, and he's holding that mountain on his back, with which they're churning the ocean of milk. So Gurudev had the inspiration that if Kurmadev will give his blessings, then it will be possible. So he made some prayer, maybe they did some special puja for Kurmadev. And then after that, no problem.
Many snakes in that golden good.
Yeah.
And we could swim also in there. That was a
major thing, right?
Yes. Yeah, they had to empty out all the water, and yeah. Yeah, that's a whole history. They were waiting for years to do that as well. It was Srila Sridhar Maharaj's desire for many years, but the previous owner was a little mad, and he was going to sell it, but maybe Gurudev, or I think it was Srila Sridhar Maharaj actually, he said better not buy it from him, because he's not, he's a little mad, and so if you buy it from him, and then he could cause some problem later, maybe he'll change his mind about something, so wait till he sells it to somebody else and then you buy from them. So Gurudev had to wait a long time, for many years, for that, and then finally he was able to buy it. And then there was so much opposition from the locals, because they used that kund for washing their clothes and things like that, and bringing their buffaloes there, fishing. So there was a lot of opposition to making it like a built-up place of pilgrimage, a pilgrimage site. He couldn't build a wall. So, I've experienced there, people would just come and steal your wall. You start a wall and people just come and take your bricks. That kind of thing happens in Bengal, at least. So that was years of fighting as well, to have the locals agree to it, come around to the idea. And then finally, with the Acharya Maharaj's help, he was able to do it. But we have an article, Devidasi did that interview with Gurudev in one of the Gaudiya Darshans. It's very nice. Okay, so Mahaprabhu's having boat pastime. Mahapatre Mahaprabhu Korila Vidai Kandite Se Tirerohi Chai. Finally, Mahaprabhu bade farewell to the Mahapatra. Standing on the riverbank and looking at the boat, the Mahapatra began to cry. So Mahaprabhu is moving to the Bengal side. Jodasyu boyese javan cholilo Dashanoka Bodhibahu Sonya Sangenilo. The Muslim governor then personally accompanied Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Because of pirates, the governor took 10 boats full of many soldiers. Mancheshva Dushtanade Padokodailo Pichalda Parjanta Se Javanailo. The Muslim governor accompanied Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu past Mancheshvar. This place was very dangerous due to pirates. He took the Lord to a place named Pichalda, which was near Mancheshvar. Tade vidai dilo Prabhu se grama hoite, se kale tar prema cheshta napadi vanite. Finally, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu bade the governor farewell. The intense ecstatic love exhibited by the governor cannot be described. Alokik lila kodesh Shri Krishna Chaitanya Jaiha Sunetar Janma Deho Danya. Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastimes are all uncommon. Whoever listens to his activities becomes glorious, and his life becomes perfect. Se noka chadi Prabhu aila pani hati navi kere parailo nija kripa sati. The Lord finally reached Panihati, and as an act of mercy, he gave the captain of the boat one of his personal garments. Prabhu aila boli loke hoilo kolo hol manusha bodilo sob kiba jol stol. The place called Panihati was located on the bank of the Ganges. After hearing that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had arrived, all kinds of men assembled both on land and on the water. Raghava Panditasi Prabhuloya Gela Pate Jaite Lokpide Kaste Shishte Aila. At length, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was taken away by Raghava Pandit. There was a great crowd assembled along the way, and the Lord reached Raghava Pandit's residence with great difficulty. Ekadin Prabhu Tata Kodiyani Vas Prate Kumara Hatte Aila Jaha Srinivas. The Lord stayed at Raghava Pandit's place for only one day. The next morning he went to Kumarahatta, where Srivas Thakur lived. And explains here in the purport, because someone may say, I thought Srivas Thakur lives in Mayapur, in Navadip. So in the purport it explains that when after Mahaprabhu left Navadip, the separation became intolerable for Srivas, and so he moved away. It's difficult when, to be in the same place, isn't it? To be constantly reminded of that separation. So he moved to this Kumarahatta, where Shivananda, I'm mixing up. But somewhere near, in the area. So Panihati is right in the outskirts of Calcutta. So this Kumarahatta is somewhere nearby. Tahoite agi gela Shivananda Gaur Vasudeva Grihe Pache Aila Ishvar. From the house of Srivas Thakur, the Lord went to the house of Shivananda Sain, and then to the house of Vasudeva Dutt. Vachaspati Grihe Prabhu Jemate Rohila Loka Bira Boye Jaiche Kuliya Aila. The Lord remained some time at the house of Vidya Vachaspati, but then, because it was too crowded, he went to Kuliya. So this is in the Navadip area. This is one of the islands of Navadip. We went there on the Navadip Parikrama. It was your first time, you probably don't remember all the names you probably couldn't match the names to the places. But where it was the temple of Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, I think we went there on the last day. But anyway, it's in the Navadvip area. And
Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya had a house in Navadvip?
he was born in Navadvip. Vijayavachaspati is his brother, actually. And then later, Sarvabhauma, and they had a school there. And then later, Sarvabhauma moved to Puri. So there's a Sarvabhauma Gaudiya Mat there. And that area is called Vidyanagar. Also. So, as it's mentioned here, it was too crowded there. Because now, like Mahaprabhu's moving, as he's moving, crowds are following him. And another point is this is the first time he's returned to Navadvip after 5 years. So, and there's not much of a description here, and there's some quotes here. Yeah, we can read this. Chaitanya Bhagavat has more elaborate description of this incident. It was quite an event. Srila Sridhar Maharaj discusses it in Golden Volcano. He describes how ecstatic the people of Navadvip felt, because they felt, oh, he was a child of our own village, and now he became this big celebrity, he became, that's the wrong word, but he became such a major figure in society. Mahaprabhu had traveled to South India, he was preaching in Puri, so, news of Mahaprabhu's activities and his influence had spread, and so back in Navadvip they're hearing, oh, he was just like this scholar, Nimai Pandit, and and there were those who were envious of him, who were critical of him. But, he left, he took sannyas, he became this, great, renowned person. And now when he returns, the attitude has changed. They're all overjoyed and ecstatic to see him. So it's like he attracts this mad crowd, all eager to have his darshan. And there's a description of how the crowds were so great that Mahaprabhu, there were people climbing trees and people were standing in the Ganges. The Ganges was full of people standing to try to get a glimpse of him. And at one point he went up onto the roof of the house of Vijayavachaspati so that people could see him better. So it was, in the end, it was so crowded, then he came to Kulia, which is where our temple is. Kulia, there's another way that area is referred to, Kulia Gram. But I'd like to read some of this.
The only proper use of the word celebrity is in this context, because celebrity should mean someone who's wife.
Celebrated, right. Yeah, it's true.
So actually, Krishna's the only celebrity.
It's sad how these words, like the word awesome, it's very sad. Like, it's such that word is meant to describe something very majestic and grand, and, something that is awe-inspiring, but, it's been a little spoiled. American teenagers, they take everything. But I'll just read this translation of these verses from Chaitanya Bhagavat, which are describing. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu stayed at Vijayavachaspati's house, many hundreds of thousands of people went to see him and chant the holy name of Hari. It was so crowded that people could not even find a place to walk. Therefore, they made room by clearing out the jungles near the village. Many roads were automatically excavated, and many people also came by boats to see the Lord. So many came that it was difficult for the boatmen to get them across the river. When Vijayavachaspati suddenly arrived, he made arrangements for many boats to receive these people, but the people would not wait for the boats. Somehow or other they crossed the river and hurried toward the house of Vijayavachaspati. Due to this great crowd, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu secretly went to Kuliya Nagar. After the Lord left Vijayanagar, however, all the people heard news of his leaving. They then accompanied Vachaspati to Kuliya Nagar. Since the news of the Lord's arrival was immediately broadcast, large crowds arrived and greeted Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu with great jubilation. Indeed, when the crowd went to see Mahaprabhu, it increased 10,000 times in number. No one could say how many people crossed the river to see him, but many hundreds of thousands made a great tumult when crossing the river Ganges. After crossing the river, everyone began to embrace one another when they heard the good news of Mahaprabhu's arrival. Thus all the inhabitants of Kuliya, the sinful, intermediate, and spiritually advanced, were delivered and glorified by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Yeah, this verse is quoted sometimes. Kuliya, because this is a very beautiful line. Kuliya gramete asi Shri Krishna Chaitanya heno nahi jade prabhu na korila danya. That when Mahaprabhu came to Kuliya Gram, which is where our temple is, there was nobody who was not blessed. There was nobody who did not receive Mahaprabhu's grace.
What is the difference between Golaganj and Kuliya?
I think Kuliya may have been how it was called earlier. It's the same area, Kolarganj Kuliya. It may be that it was originally called Kuliya and that somehow changed into Kolardanga, Kolarganj. I'm not sure, but it's referring to that same area in any case. So this description is not so detailed, but I've seen other descriptions that were a bit more elaborate, describing how people were climbing trees. There were people lined up on tree branches, and that by the influence of Yoga Maya, none of the branches broke, like to that extreme. And Srila Sridhar Maharaj, he commented that when he heard these descriptions, like of hundreds and thousands of people, the Ganges is full of people, the trees are full of people, the roads are being automatically being made, Srila Sridhar Maharaj thought, well, maybe it's a little bit exaggerated. But he said then when he saw the type of crowds that Gandhi would attract, Gandhi would attract huge crowds of people. And then he thought to himself, well, if it's possible for a man of this world to excite, such a large crowd, then it must be so for the Lord himself. Because you see the type of excitement and madness that can come out of people for celebrities, and for these type of leaders. So what type of influence did Mahaprabhu have? Madhav Das Grihe Tata Shachir Nandan Laka Koti Loktata Pailo Dadashan. When the Lord stayed at the house of Madhava Das, many hundreds of thousands of people came to see him. Satadin Rohitata Loknishtadila Sabha Padadigane Prakare Tadila. The Lord stayed there for 7 days and delivered all kinds of offenders and sinners. Shantapur Charja Grihe Aiche Haila Ch.Ch Mata Milita Duka Kandaila. After leaving Kuliya, Mahaprabhu visited the house of Advaita Acharya at Shantipur. It was there that the Lord's mother, Shachi Mata, met him. and was thus relieved of her great unhappiness. Toberam keligrame prabhujaiche gela natasho. Because Mahaprabhu, he didn't go to Mayapur. The Navadvip area covers some ground, and he went to the other parts of Navadvip, but he did not go specifically to Mayapur, because that is the place of his birth and where he had his family life. And as a sannyasi, it would not really be appropriate. So therefore, Ch.Ch. Mata came, who's staying in Mayapur, she came to meet Mahaprabhu at Shantipur, which is a nearby village. And so she met Mahaprabhu there. Of course, Vishnu Priya, she could not have that privilege.
But then later, Mahaprabhu passed by.
It's mentioned that he passed by very quickly and he left a pair of shoes there. Yes. She was standing some distance by the door, and Mahaprabhu went by very quickly and left a pair of sandals there. Yes, that is mentioned. Yes. The Lord then visited the village known as Ramkeli and the place known as Kanai Natashala. From there he returned to Shantipur. Shantipure punakoilo dasadina vas vistadivani achen vrindavana das. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu stayed in Shantipur for 10 days. This has all been described very elaborately by Vrindavan Das Thakur. Attaiva ihauta nakoilu vishtar punarukti hoy granta bodoye apar. I will not narrate these incidents because they have already been described by Vrindavan Das Thakur. There is no need to repeat the same information, for such repetition would unlimitedly increase the size of this book. Madhya milila Ch.Ch rupa sanatan nishingananda koilo Ch.Ch pater sajan sutra Madhya se lila amito varnilo ataiva punata ihona likilo. Those narrations tell how Mahaprabhu met the brothers Rup and Sanatan, and how Nishingananda decorated the road. I have already described these in an earlier synopsis of this book. Therefore, I will not repeat the narration here. Okay, I think it's a good place to stop for today. And we'll hear something about Raghunath Das Goswami. And then, the best part of this chapter is, maybe it's in a different chapter. The meeting between Rup and Sanatan at Ramkeli. Maybe that was described, because it's not always chronological. So that was described in an earlier chapter. But the conclusion of this attempt to Vrindavan is Ramkeli. And when he reaches there, then he meets with Rup and Sanatan. They have a very wonderful meeting. And Sanatan advises Mahaprabhu very humbly that he thinks it's best he doesn't proceed to Vrindavan. That's why it's called his attempt to go to Vrindavan. Because he has such a big crowd following him. And there could be some trouble from some of the Muslim rulers. So, that must have been earlier. Okay, well, so wonderful to hear the glories of the Lord and the Vaishnavas. Today is
Sriyukta Puja.
No, that was recently. Ganga Mata Goswamini. I think it's her appearance day. And disappearance of Baladevi Jabhusham, which I did when I don't know very much about Ganga Mata. I don't know. But Baladev Vijabhushan, he's an important acharya
Oh, yeah,
in our line. I was going to say something, I forgot. Maybe in the evening we'll say something. Jai Shri Baladev Vijabhushan ki Jai, Shri Ganga Mata Goswami ki Jai, Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita ki Jai, Shri Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami ki Jai, Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita ki Jai. Whose turn is it to chant? Oh, we you want to sing, Dina?
Hari Haraya Namah Krishna Jadavaya Namaha.
Hari Haraya Namah Krishna Jadavaya Namaha.
Jadavaya Madhavaya Kesavaya Namaha.
Jadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namaha.
Gopala Govinda Ram Sri Madhusudana.
Gopal Govinda Ram Shri Madhusudana. Giridhari Gopinatha Madana Mohana. Sri Chaitanya Nityananda Sri Advaita Chandra. Hara Hara Shiva Sri Gaura Jaya Rupa Sanatana Raghunatha. Shri Jiva Gopala Bhatta Saraghunatha. Ch.Ch. Gosai Puri Saranandana. Jaha Vijay Dinaraj Abhishta Puran. Sansavara Padarin Gora Panchagrasa. Adira Charana Sevi Bhakta Sanivasa. Jnana Vidyana Vimohaya Ch.Ch. Gosai Jabe Braje Goya Vatsa. Sri Radha Krishna Nitya Leela Leela Prakasha. Anand Hari Bhaja Vrindavana. Sri Guru Vaishnava Jaya. Sri Guru Vaishnava Padma Gauriyasha. Hari Ram Sankirtan Gauri Radha Hare